يا الطارش يا المعنى خط بكتابك الترحيب لو سرابك ليلك وجنة بالدجا في الليل تسري.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، خير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, today is our weekly class, Fundamentals of Tawheed. And we are going through the hadith of Jibreel alayhi salam, which is reported in Sahih Muslim. عن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما أن جبريل عليه السلام قال للنبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: ما الإيمان؟ قال: أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر وبالقدر خيره وشره. فقال له جبريل عليه السلام: صدقت. قال: فتعجبنا منه يسأله ويصدقه. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: ذاك جبريل أتاكم يعلمكم معالم دينكم. رواه مسلم. Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, said that the Prophet ﷺ said in the famous hadith of Jibreel alayhi salam, when Jibreel asked the Prophet ﷺ about al-Iman, faith, and the Prophet ﷺ said, to believe in Allah, His angels, His books, His messengers, the last day, and the divine decree, both good and bad. Jibreel said to him, you have spoken the truth. He said, we were amazed, surprised, that he asked him and then confirmed his answers as being correct. The Prophet ﷺ said that was Jibreel alayhi salam, who came to teach you your deen, your religion. Now, in the last session, we talked about what is the meaning to believe in Allah. That means you believe in His existence, you believe in His attributes, His names, His right to be worshipped alone without associating anyone with Him. And now we continue, inshallah. أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته. Then you believe in the malaika, angels. My advice for you, brothers and sisters, if you want to know this hadith, you need to read the entire series on Aqidah by Dr. Umar Sulaiman al-Ashqar, rahimahullah ta'ala. So each article of faith is explained in detail. وَمَلَائِكَتِهِ. To believe in the malaika. Malaika, the plural form of malak, angel. Because Allah created angels, jinn, and human beings. Okay? Apart from the rest of the creation, animals, plants, etc. The malaika are created from nur, light. The jinn from fire. Human beings from the earth. إن الله خلق الملائكة من نور. Allah created the angels from light. وخلق الجان من مارج من نار. The jinn are created from that portion of the smoke, of the flame that is smokeless. وخلق آدم مما وصف لكم, and he created Adam from what he mentioned to you, described to you. So the malaika, the angels, are created from light. They do not disobey Allah Azza wa Jal. لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم. They disobey Allah not and do whatever they are commanded to do. They are the inhabitants of the heaven. That is their place, samawat. So the angels are in heaven. They come down to earth for certain tasks. But their permanent resident place is heaven. And there are so many. And no one knows their number except the one who created them. Glory be to him. The Prophet ﷺ said, there is no an area in the length of one span in heaven, except there's an angel standing or prostrating. Because of the number of the malaika, the samawat are making noise, like if they are going to crack and collapse because of the heaviness of the weight. The Prophet ﷺ told us that Al-Bayt al-Ma'mur, which is the Kaaba for the angels in heaven, every day 70,000 angels make tawaf and leave, and then replaced by another 70,000. And that's going on Those 70,000 will be replaced by new number, new group. The creation, the physique is so enormous. We cannot imagine. The Prophet ﷺ said, I was permitted, allowed to describe one of the angels, those who are bearing the throne, Hamalat al-Arsh, the bearers of the throne. This one angel, the Prophet said, the distance between the earlobe of the angel and his shoulder, the distance will be covered in 700 years. Something mind-blowing. Cannot imagine. Jibreel alayhi salam. The Prophet ﷺ, he saw him in his angelic form as an angel, real form, picture. When he spread one wing, he covered the horizon by one wing. When Allah sent him to uproot the town of Sodom, of the town of Lut, Prophet Lot, Jibreel alayhi salam, he uprooted the entire city on the tip of the wing and carried it up. High, 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 high. To the level, the altitude where the angels in the first heaven heard the barks of their dogs and the roosters, the cries of the roosters. And then he turned it upside down. They are so beautiful. So beautiful. That's why human beings, when they describe a woman who is beautiful, they say she is an angel. So the Malaika is an amazing world. And each one has tasks. Some of them, we know their names. اللهم رب جبرائيل وميكائيل وإسرافيل فاطر السماوات والأرض عالم الغيب والشهادة أنت تحكم بين عبادك فيما كانوا فيه يختلفون اهدني لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. جبريل، ميكائيل، إسرافيل، Malik. Those are the names mentioned. The rest we don't. And each one has a particular task, mission, everyone. So they have assignments. Allah created them for a particular purpose. They're celebrating and praising Allah's praises all the time. And they don't feel fatigue or tired. They are with us, some of them, at home. Allah appointed and made some angels to guard us, to protect us. له معقبات من بين يديه ومن خلفه يحفظونه من أمر الله. He has guards that protect him from behind and from the front by Allah's command. There are angels with us writing our deeds. Every night, an angel will spend the night with you, guarding you the whole night. That's why we have to respect the malaika who are around us. Don't walk naked at home. They are malaika. That's why Uthman is saying, radiallahu anhu, shall I not feel shy of the angels? And the malaika, they feel shy of Uthman. So the malaika, the Prophet ﷺ, he said in the hadith, in Ramadan, on the night of the Qadr, the night of the power, they translated, they number on earth as many as the stars in the sky. Can you imagine this? You cannot count. Cannot count. Allah sent the Malaika on the day of Badr to fight along with the Muslims. So we believe in their existence. They are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to worship Him, and they have other tasks to carry out. So we believe in that. And this is part of the belief in the unseen, the ghaib. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب, those who believe in the unseen. This is unseen. The rain, Mikael, that is his task for the rain. Israfil, to blow the trumpet. So we believe in Allah and we believe in the Malaika. And when you believe and have, you get this feeling that you are surrounded by angels. For example, right now we are in this study circle. We are surrounded by angels because this is halaqatu dhikr, the circle of dhikr. Angels are surrounding you. There are malaika sayyara, moving around, traveling. Whenever they find study circle, They call each other, come, come. This is what we are looking for. And they sit one on top of the other till they reach the sky. They attend the study circles. And they don't enter the house that has images, surah, pictures, or dogs. They don't enter such house. The angels of mercy, the Malaikat al-Rahmah, they don't enter your house. If you have pictures hung on the wall, dogs, they don't. I said the Malaikat of Rahmah, the angels of mercy. The angels with you, they are there. But the angels who will make dua for you and you feel the barakah in your home, okay, they will not enter your home. So who will replace them? The shayateen. So your home will be full of devils. So that spiritual atmosphere and pleasant atmosphere will not be there. There will be an atmosphere full of haram, full of sin, an atmosphere that make you suffocate. But the angels are not there. So if you want the angels of mercy to enter your home, remove any picture on the walls, any image of a living being. Jibreel alayhi salam, he promised to visit the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet was waiting. And Jibreel did not enter the house of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet was waiting. And when he met Jibreel, he said, you didn't come. He said, because you have dog in your home. And a statue. So they looked, they found, and he said, the image, remove the head of it. So it will look like a tree made of wood. And they did that. And then they looked and they found a dog entered without them knowing, and they removed the dog. The Prophet ﷺ, he was away from his family, and Aisha, she bought curtains to cover the door. And the curtain had pictures of living beings. So the Prophet ﷺ, when he returned, he stood at the door. He did not enter. He was angry. Said, Aisha, didn't you know that those who drew these pictures, Allah will ask them on the day of resurrection to blow the spirit into such pictures. So Aisha said, we tore it and we made pillows or cushions out of it. This hadith refutes that those who are saying the pictures that are haram are the ones that are 3D, three-dimensional. If it is two, length, width, it's okay. This hadith refutes that because the picture drawn on a piece of cloth is not 3D. That's why, my dear brothers and sisters, when you buy clothes for children, especially, make sure they don't have pictures of animals or human beings. Or blankets, they have pictures, tigers, things like that. Don't buy such blankets. The teenagers, they like to put the photos on the wall of their room of the singers and actors and actresses. No, because the angels will not enter your home. So, they believe in Allah, believe in the Malaika. You want details? Read the book of Umar Sulaiman al-Ashqar rahimahullah, the word of the angels. وَكُتُبِهِ. Then we believe in the books Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of his mercy, he sent revelations, scriptures, books to guide mankind. Because without his guidance, we will be lost. He is unseen. And the next life is unseen. Heaven, hell, everything is unseen. And there's no way to know the unseen through your mind, through the intellect, the aql. The aql, the intellect cannot tell you what is beyond this, the metaphysical world. The metaphysical world, we don't know anything about it. And our minds are incapable to tell us anything about it. Our minds cannot tell us who is behind the wall. A person who's in the next room, your intellect is unable to tell you who's there. How do you expect your mind, your aql, to tell you what is beyond this creation? Impossible. So the only way to know about the unseen, that the one who created the unseen to tell you about it. And that's Allah. And he told us about it. How he told us about it? He chose human beings from among us who had and have outstanding noble character. They are role models. So no one can accuse them of anything, of dishonesty, bad manners. No way. Their character is flawless. And he inspired them. And he conveyed to them through the Archangel Jibreel alayhi salam messages to convey to their people, impart to their people. So he gave Ibrahim alayhi salam, Prophet Abraham, الصحف, the scrolls. He gave Dawood alayhi salam, الزبور, the Psalms. He sent to Moses the Torah. He sent to Isa, Jesus Christ, alayhi salam, the gospel, evangel, the Injil. And he sent down the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These are the books that we are aware of. These books contain guidance from mankind. The previous scriptures before the Quran, Allah entrusted the learned men to safeguard such scriptures and to teach them to the people. Unfortunately, the learned men adulterated the scriptures, modified, changed the rulings therein. And we can see with our own eyes that the scriptures were modified. Now Allah is sending the last scripture, revelation, the Quran. And this has to remain in its pristine and intact form, remain intact. So he himself said, I am the one who's going to safeguard it and protect it. إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ فَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. It is us, we, royal we, who send down the dhikr, the reminder, that's the Quran, and it is we, وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ, and it's we who's going to preserve it, protect it, safeguard it from any changes. So the Quran is protected, because that's what Allah said. Anyone says that the Quran is not protected is a kafir. Kafir. Disbeliever is not a Muslim. Because Allah said He is going to protect it. And Allah protected His. Though the enemies of Islam tried to add things, print copies with removing some verses or inserting something. Immediately, such copies are discovered and removed because the Quran is memorized by millions and millions and millions of Muslims. Because the Quran was transmitted orally, in addition to the writing. The Quran was written from day one in different materials. There were writers and scribes of the Quran, Kutab al-Wahi, writers of the revelation. The Arabs minds were prepared to memorize. Because the Arabs were unlettered nation. They don't read and write. So they commit everything to their memories. Everything. Even today, you go to the elders and the Bedouin, old people, old men, they relate things to you, which they heard from their fathers and their fathers from their fathers, etc. And still they have the ability to memorize. So that was the talent of the Arabs. They hear something, immediately they memorize it. The Arabs before Islam, they used to have a competition, contest for the poets. And they have different seasons where all the poets from different parts of Arabia, they come to this competition. And each poet will read his poem once. And the Arab tribes who came from different parts of Arabia, they hear it and they memorize it. These poems, the best of them are chosen and picked and called mu'allaqat. The mu'allaqat. So the Arabs, they had that talent. And now the Quran came, which is easier than poetry. So it was easy for them. They hear it, commit it to memory. In addition, as I told you, the writing. So the Quran was transmitted orally. And that's why if you want to read the Quran, you have to sit with a Sheikh who received the qira'ah from his Sheikh until the Prophet ﷺ. Because that's how we read the Quran. So the Quran is protected. And the Quran is the last miracle. And there are many miraculous aspects in the Quran. And it is a challenge for all mankind. It is a challenge for the scientists, for the doctors, theologians, philosophers, challenge for everyone. Anyone who reads the Quran, he will be amazed. He will be amazed. The Quran mentioned events happened in the past. The Prophet ﷺ was not aware of them. No one was aware. Who told him? A letter. The Quran mentioned certain people that they are going to hell. And this is another challenge. Abu Lahab is going to hell. His wife to hell. Walid ibn al-Mughira to hell. Had this Quran was not from Allah, Abu Lahab would have come and he said, my son, Oh, Muhammad, you're saying I am going to hell. No, my son. I believe in you, my son. I believe in your message, and this will finish the message of the Prophet ﷺ. I believe in your message. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أنك رسول الله. I believe in Allah. I believe that you are Allah's messenger. This will finish the message of the Prophet ﷺ. But this idea never crossed the mind of Abu Lahab. And the one who said Abu Lahab is going to hell is not Muhammad ﷺ. It's Allah. Allah who created Abu Lahab, and he knew Abu Lahab will never become a Muslim. What else? This is a concrete proof. The Quran is from Allah. The Quran, when the battle took place between the Romans and the Persians, and the Persians had the upper hand, and the Romans were defeated, and the Muslims in Mecca grieved, felt sad, because the Christians are closer to us than the fire worship. Allah said that the Christians will have the upper hand, future, in few years, بضع سنين, 3 to 9. And it happened. Who told the Prophet ﷺ that the Christians, Romans, will defeat the Persians, and there will be another battle, and the Muslims and the believers will rejoice on that day? Who told him? The Quran mentioned regarding when the Muslims changed the direction of the Qibla. They were facing Bayt al-Maqdis, now they are facing Mecca. The Quran told the Muslims, the fools will come to you now and ask you, why did you change the direction of your prayer? The fools. And the Muslims were reading, and the fools will come, say, يقول السفهاء من الناس. The fools will come and say, and the kuffar, they hear that. Had this Quran not from Allah, the kuffar should have said to each other, guys, this is our chance. This is our chance. Keep quiet. We should not ask the Muslims why. And then we'll ask Muhammad, where is the fulfillment of this prophecy? Where is it? But this idea never crossed their mind. They came and they asked the Muslims, why did you change the direction of your prayers? Oh, okay. So you are the fools Allah told us about. You are the fools. So this Quran, my dear brothers and sisters, is protected. Amazing book. And now in a few days, we will have the month of the Quran. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. The month of the Quran. And Sha'ban is the month of the reciters. They are rehearsing and revising the Quran to prepare themselves for Ramadan. So the Quran is protected. and it is the speech of Allah. Allah spoke the Quran. Allah spoke the Quran. So it is the speech of Allah. It's not created. Our speech is created, not Allah's speech. Quran is not created. And there are nowadays, but this was history. The Mu'tazila, who said the Quran is created. Now, there are people saying the same thing. The Asha'ira. Quran is created. Anyone who says the Quran is created is kafir. Kafir. Because the Quran is the speech of Allah. And the speech of Allah is an attribute of Allah. So if you are saying the attribute of Allah is created, you are saying Allah is created. The speaker is created. Those guys are fools. They don't know what is coming of their heads. When Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira, listen to me, my dear brothers and sisters, wake up. Learn your Aqidah, learn your Islam. When Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira said about the Quran, إن هذا إلا قول البشر, Allah said, سأصليه سقر. Al-Walid, when he said, this Quran is the speech of human beings. Allah said, سأصليه سقر. But what he said, describing the Quran as the speech of human beings, سأصليه سقر. I will roast him in the hellfire. Because the Quran is not kalam al-bashar. It's not the speech of human beings. The Quran is kalam Rabb al-bashar. It's the speech, the Lord, mankind. Because our Rabb speaks, talks. Our Rabb is not dumb. He talks, he speaks. Asha'ira, they are saying Allah does not speak. That's what they're saying. Allah, he tells us that he speaks. They're saying no. وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. Allah talked on the Mount of Sinai to Musa. And Allah mentioned the masdar, the verbal noun, for more emphasis. وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. وَلَمَّا جَاءَ مُوسَى لِمِيقَاتِنَا وَكَلَّمَهُ رَبُّهُ. When Moses came to the appointed place, and his Rabb, Lord, spoke to him. Allah speaks. And the Quran is his speech. Kalamullah. فإن أحد من المشركين استجارك فأجره حتى يسمع كلام الله. This is what the Quran is saying. If any of the mushriks, the pagans, sought your protection, فأجره, grant him protection حتى يسمع كلام الله, until he hears the speech of Allah, كلام الله. So you believe as Muslim that the Quran is the speech of Allah. منه بدأ وإليه يعود. From him started the Quran. And to him will go back. Quran will go back to Allah. Prophet ﷺ said, a night will come when the Quran will be removed from the breasts, the memory, and the books. So this is what you should believe as a Muslim. Quran is protected. The speech of Allah is not created. Anyone who says it is created is not a Muslim. It's a kafir. So you believe in Allah, you believe in the angels, وَرُسُولِهِ وَكُتُبِهِ, the books, and the Rasul, messengers. Messengers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent messengers to every nation, every community. وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا. Every nation we sent to them a messenger. Why? To guide them. أَنْ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. All the messengers, prophets, were telling the people, worship Allah and shun and leave all false deities. So all the nations, Allah sent them messengers. In one narration, there are about 124,000 angels, messengers sent. So all nations, Allah sent them messengers so that they will not have excuses on the day of resurrection. Whenever a new group batch is thrown to the hellfire, the angels, they rebuke them and they ask them sarcastically, أَلَمْ يَأْتِكُمْ نَذِيرٌ? No warner came to you? And they would say, Bala, warners came. But we belied them. We rejected them. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is adl, just. وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. We were not going to punish anyone prior to sending them a warner, a messenger. So Allah sent messengers. And the last one is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us there will come false prophets after him, false prophets, imposters. 30. Some of them are women. And it happened. Okay? So Jah was one of them. So from time to time, someone comes. Say, I'm a prophet. Subhanallah. One man came to Sheikh Albani and he said, either he said, I'm a prophet or I know the ghaib, the unseen. He said, okay, I have one question. He said, what is it? What is this, your question? He said, yeah, just saying that you know the ghaib. You should have known it. The debate was finished from just the beginning. May Allah have mercy upon our Sheikh Albani. He was amazed. No one debated with him and won the debate. No one. So Allah sent messengers and prophets. And what is the difference between Rasul and Nabi? Nabi is prophet, Rasul is messenger. What's the difference? The difference is that because some books you'll come across that say the prophet is a person, a human being who receives revelation, but he is not commanded, and he was not commanded to convey it or to impart it or to share it. That's wrong definition. If the ulama who have knowledge, if they conceal it, they will be punished. How about a prophet? Allah gave him knowledge and he kept it with him without conveying it to the people. And the Prophet ﷺ said, بنو إسرائيل كانت تسوسهم أنبياؤهم. Okay, the Israelites, they were ruled by their prophets. So who were judging among Bani Israel regarding their disputes? Their prophets. With what? With what Allah has given them. So the difference between Rasul and Nabi, messenger and prophet, that the prophet will not come with a new law, Sharia, new law. No, he will not bring a new law. He will follow the law that is existing, came by the messenger before him. Whereas the Rasul comes with a new law, Sharia. That's the difference. So you believe in Allah, His Malaika, angels, His books, kutub, His messengers, وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. You believe in the last day, day of resurrection, the day when we will come from our graves and will be called for accountability. And it is called Al-Yawm Al-Akhir, the last day, because there is no day after it. So the resurrection is a fact, reality. We cannot deny. We will be resurrected. Subhanallah. You know, the creation of our father Adam was mentioned in the Quran. But that creation we did not witness. Allah created Adam from the earth, okay, from the clean mud, okay, hama masnoon, stinky mud, the baked clay, fakhar. These are phases of the creation of Adam. From the earth, components were collected. Mixed with water, it became mud, clean. Leave it for a while, hama masnoon, gives the smell. Then take that hama and shave the body and let it dry like the baked clay. And now, after that, the spirit, the soul, was blown into this body and life started. This was the creation of our father Adam alayhi salam. We did not witness this. But Allah makes us every day see this process in the reverse mode. In the reverse mode. The creation of Adam, the last thing entered the body was the soul. The death, when people are dying, the first thing will leave the body is the soul. The spirit will come out. The moment the spirit leaves the body the body solidifies, became solid, stiff, like the baked clay. If you leave the body unburied, it will start to stink and it will start to crumble, to break into parts. If you leave it, it will start to dry and go back to the earth. And this is what you see every day when people are dying. And the Prophet ﷺ said, when the soul comes from the body, the sight traces and follows the soul. Soul comes out, the soul is taken, and you see the eyes of the deceased, the dead person are up. So you need to close them. So the last day is coming. And when a person is buried, this will go back to the earth, except the end of the spinal cord. I think they call it the coccyx or something like that. Whether this person is buried, eaten by the animals, cremated, he will be brought into life. So the Prophet ﷺ said, what will happen to us on the day of resurrection? Everything will be collected. And the bones will come back. And the skeleton will be formed. And the skeleton will be clothed with flesh. And then the sky will rain water, but it is not water, it is like the seminal fluid. Then the souls, because now the body is ready, needs the soul to run life into it. As someone said, this body is the hardware, the soul is the software. So the soul will enter the body and life will start and the graves will open and people will come out. So that was what happened. واليوم الآخر وبالقدر خيره وشره, and to believe in the divine decree. The qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in order to know this issue of the qadr, remember, you have to memorize the following. Allah knows things before they happen. Prior to anything occurs and takes place, He knows. So Allah knows things before they happen. So you have to know that Allah's knowledge, Allah encompasses everything in His knowledge. So this is the first component you have to keep in mind. And because He knows things, He commanded the pen to write what is going to happen. So the ilm, the knowledge, the kitabah, writing, and the pen wrote everything. Thirdly, the will, the Mashiach. Nothing happens in Allah's kingdom against His will. Nothing. Because if something happened in His kingdom against His own will, this means He is weak. Glory be to Him. And you cannot attribute weakness to Allah. So everything happens in His kingdom according to His will. And there are two aspects of the will here, the irada, the will. There are two aspects of it. Irada kawniyya and irada shar'iyya. Irada kawniyya, the universal will. Irada shar'iyya, the legal will. What does this mean? Nothing happens in his kingdom against his will. Now, there are things Allah doesn't like, and they happen. There is kufr, disbelief. There are sins. Allah doesn't like that. But Allah allows these things because He has given the human being the free will. So, and He told the human being, there are these two ways. This will go to take you to heaven. This will take you to hell. And they have giving you the free will, and I will not stop you from doing whatever you want. وَهَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ. We have showed him the two paths, the two ways. مَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Whoever wants to believe, let him believe. Wants to disbelieve, okay, disbelieve. And then he will bear the consequences. And when Allah is saying, let him disbelieve, it's not sanctioning that and agreeing that you disbelieve. But since He gave you the free will, this is actually tahdeed, warning. You bear the consequences. So Allah has given you the free will. You can go to the nightclub and you can go to the masjid. No one will stop you from going to the nightclub or the masjid. You go willingly. Does Allah want you to go to the nightclub or red light district? No. But He gave you the free will and you will be held accountable for that. So, knowledge, fighting, will. So, the things that happen in the universe and Allah does not like them, this is called, these events happen according to the universal will, irada kawniyah, though Allah doesn't like them. The things that Allah loves them, I come to the masjid, because the kawniyah, something happened already, occurred. The shar'iyah, the legal, going to the masjid, you prayed the Maghrib, you prayed Isha. Since it happened, you prayed, so it happened according to the universal will, because it happened. And because Allah loves it, also happened according to the legal will, because Allah loves you to go to the masjid. So the good deeds happen according to the two will, or the two aspects of the will, the universal and the legal. Whereas the sin is done only according to the irada kawniyah, the universal will. Why Allah allows these things? There is a wisdom behind it. Why there is kufr? There's wisdom behind it. Imagine there is no disbelief. Will there be jihad? Will there be shuhada? Martyrs? Will there be da'wah? No. Everyone is a believer. Imagine there are no diseases. Will there be schools for medicine, hospitals, doctors? Will there be expiations and promotion for your status in the Jannah? Because there is nothing called sickness. So there's divine wisdom. Sometimes this gray matter can comprehend something, it is beyond its capacity. So the knowledge, ilmun kitabatun, مولانا مشيئته كذلك خلق وإيجاد وتكوين. Memorize this. So the ilm, and because Allah knows things before they happen, He commanded the pen to write. Then nothing happens without His will. And fourthly, He created everything. Allahu khaliqu kulli shay. Everything is created by Him. We human beings create nothing. We create nothing. Our own actions are created by Allah. Allah created everything. Human beings, they create nothing. One deviant sect is called Mu'tazila. They are saying man creates his own action. Allah said, Allah created you and created your own actions. And Imam Bukhari in his Sahih, there is one chapter, Babu Khalq Af'al al-Ibad. Khalq Af'al al-Ibad. The actions of human beings are created by Allah. And this statement by the Mu'tazila is not correct. It is a fallacy. And they are saying man creates his own action. For example, now, see now, I'm dropping this highlight. I'm dropping this highlight. I repeat it in front of you. This is an action. This is fi'l. Okay? So the Mu'tazili is saying, I created it. You say, okay, hold your horses. Let us analyze this action. What are the ingredients? What are the constituents? What are the components? What did I need to throw the highlighter? Will. I decided to throw it. So I have the will, the free will. Okay. What else? A strength in the muscle. So I was able to carry it and throw it. Good. What else? Time for this object to reach the ground. Time. What else? Place. When the action took place, happened. So there are four components: will, the strength, the power, time, and place. These four components make up the action. So the question is now, which of the four I created? Did I create the will? The answer, no. Did I create the strength? No. Did I create time? No. Did I create place? No. Who created the four? Allah. So who created the action? Allah. The creator of the action is Allah. So what did I do? What I did, I used the created will and the created strength, okay, to establish that event. And I will be held accountable before Allah if I misuse my will and my strength. So no one creates. The creator is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah will question us about the deeds we commit and do if we misuse what He has given us. So no one creates anything. That's why those who are taking pictures, those who are making images, those who are drawing, Allah will tell them on the day of resurrection, okay, now blow the spirit into this image, because you were imitating my creation. And I'm the creator, no one creates, and you thought that you are creator. So now blow the spirit into it. So these are the elements of the Iman. And you believe in this qadar, khayrihi wa sharrihi. Okay? And the khair is when you follow what Allah told you. The shar, when you disobey Allah. Evil does not come from Allah. Evil comes from us, human beings. The evil comes from us, the human being, when we disobey Allah Azza wa Jal. What you call evil is due to your disobedience and your violations of the divine teachings of Allah. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. Corruption, fasad, is apparent, widespread. في البحر, in the sea and land, because of what the hands of the human beings earn. Who's causing corruption? We, the human beings. Who's spoiling the environment? We, the human beings. Who's destroying the ecology? We, the human beings. Allah created everything in the best condition. Who's causing the pollution? We, the human beings. The evil comes from us, not from Allah. Some people, when they commit haram, they say, oh, it is written. So they use the writing as an excuse. That is flimsy excuse. Allah's writing will not interfere in your choice and doing whatever you are doing. Allah's writing just because He knew that what you are going to do. That's it. And there are different types of writing. There's writing in al-Lawh al-Mahfuz, reserved tablet. There's writing when you were in your mother's womb. And these two types of writing will not be used against you. And there's writing after you reach the age of puberty, and now the pen will start to write. This writing will be used as evidence against you. And there are two angels to write. Because Allah knows you are going to argue on the day of resurrection. So there are two angels writing. And on the day of resurrection, a book will be giving your book to you with all the things you did with the time stamp. On this day, in this place, you did that. So much so that the disbelievers will say, ما لهذا الكتاب لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها ووجدوا ما عملوا حاضرا ولا يظلم ربك أحدا. The disbelievers, they will be surprised, shocked by the accuracy and the precision of the record. There's nothing is missing except it is recorded, jotted down. And your Lord wrongs no one. So don't use this childish excuse. Because it is written, that's why I am doing it. Allah's writing does not interfere in your choice. As one of the ulama, rahimahullah, said, to simplify this issue, he said, imagine the headmaster of the school before the final was going to the classes, and he entered one of the classes and he asked the teacher, what do you expect the result of the final exam? He said, this guy is blind. He's going to have A, B, B plus, C, C minus. That one is going to have F. Say, okay, I trust you. Announce the result of the final exam without giving them the test. They do that. If they did that, the one whom they failed will file a case against them in the court and he will win the case. Say they failed me without giving me test. And both the teacher and the headmaster will be put behind bar. But if the teacher wrote what he expects based on his knowledge, and he gave them the test, and the results of the test came the same as he projected, can the student who failed, can he come to the teacher and say, sir, I failed because you said that I am going to fail, or I failed because you wrote in your paper, which is in your drawer, that I'm going to fail. That's why I failed. The teacher will tell him, get lost. What my writing has to do with your failure? Nothing. You failed because you did not study hard. My writing did not cause you to fail. So don't use the writing as an excuse for your sins. So Jibril asked all these questions, and the Prophet ﷺ was answering him, and the Sahaba said, we were surprised. How come he is asking and then he is approving of what the Prophet said? That means he knew the answers. And when Jibril left, the Prophet ﷺ explained to them that this Jibril has come, okay, to teach you your Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our knowledge in the deen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us our false mistakes and ignorance. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us remain steadfast on this beautiful deen until we meet Allah and find Him pleased with all of us. Ameen. And may Allah reward all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, immensely for your patience and attendance. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakum Allahu khaira. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ameen wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakum Allahu khair, Sheikh, for today's beautiful lessons and reminders in our fundamentals of Tawheed class. For those of you who are watching, if you are new here or if you haven't been around for a while, we are doing these classes every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, starting from 12:30 p.m. UK time. So please keep that in mind for tomorrow's session, for our Matters of the Heart class, and also for the following weekends. If any plans or any times change, you will be notified in the WhatsApp group. You can join the WhatsApp group by texting the Fitrah phone number, which has been sent in the YouTube live chat, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell, and you'll be notified whenever we are going live, about 10 or 20 minutes before. We are now going to go on to our Q&A session, where you send questions in the WhatsApp group and we will have them answered live, inshallah. Or you can send your questions in the YouTube live chat and someone can forward the questions, inshallah.
Quickly.
Yeah. Wait, Sheikh, is your connection okay? Because it's kind of like it's cutting out a bit.
You can't hear me?
We can hear you. It's just your video is cutting a bit because the connection is a bit bad. But I think we can hear you okay. I'll go into the first question, I think. The first question Sheikh is asking, Sheikh, do the angels protect all people or do they protect only Muslims?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent angels to protect the people and children, for example, in particular. But the moment you are now an adult and reach the age of puberty, okay, of the disbelievers, for example, okay, you don't expect Allah to. Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He protects humanity in many ways, okay, but there is special care for the believers, special care, okay, because this is because they are so dear to Him, so dear to Him. Next.
Jazakumullahu khair. The next question Sheikh is asking, Assalamu alaikum. Do we need to repeat after the adhan when we can hear it on the TV or on like an adhan clock, etc.? And then in addition to this question is, do we need to repeat after the adhan if we can hear it from our local masjid, or do we have to be in the masjid for us to repeat after it? Do we need to repeat after it if we are not in the masjid?
If you hear the adhan from the masjid, you hear it in your area, repeat. Not the one that is recorded, no. Next.
Jazakumullahu khair. The next question, Sheikh, is asking, Assalamu alaikum. Does Allah forgive all of our sins on the 15th of Sha'ban?
There's nothing about the 15th of Sha'ban, and celebrating the 15th of Sha'ban is bid'ah. Bid'ah, innovation. So stop doing that. And the hadith, which is Allah forgives the Muslims, okay, on the 15th of Sha'ban, okay, like enormously, like the number of the sheep of the tribe of Kalb. That's not authentic narration. So there's nothing about the 15th of Sha'ban, about praying and special salawat, etc. So leave practicing this bid'ah. Yes, there is a narration that Allah will not forgive those who are having hatred towards each other. But to make 15th of Sha'ban a special night, and like the night of Qadr and Masajid are packed, oh, this is bid'ah, innovation. Last question, Abdullah.
Jazakumullahu khair. Our final question for today, Assalamu alaikum. This is in referring to what you'd spoken about earlier previously about the pictures. The questioners are asking, will the angels of Allah enter the houses if there are pictures in the house, but the pictures are being hidden? So they are hidden away in a box, or I don't know, but they are still in the house. Will the angels still come?
They cannot be on the wall, they cannot be seen. So if the pictures, for example, of children in albums, inshallah, no harm. But don't pick pictures on the wall.
Jazakumullahu khair. That was also another question they were asking about pictures in books and in novels, if that counts, but you have answered that. Jazakumullahu khair, Sheikh. If I could just add one extra question, Sheikh. What is also the ruling in terms of cartoonish pictures? So pictures where it's a cartoon person, it is still a human, but they don't look like a human because of the way that they have been drawn. What is the ruling on that?
These cartoons for the children, if they are for educational purposes and they are not looking like human beings and not emulating the human beings, okay, so some of the scholars, they're saying these are used for educational purposes, like we are the many of the lectures and classes on the television, okay. If it is the purpose is that they are educational, no harm, and Allah knows best.
Jazakumullahu khair, Sheikh. And with that being said, that is our final question for today. Alhamdulillah. For those of you watching, there are a couple more questions. Please stay tuned tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. UK time for the Matters of the Heart class. Be there from the beginning of the class, inshallah. And your questions will be answered at the end of it. Inshallah, we will come back and we will answer the questions we have missed. Stay tuned. If you have missed any previous sessions, you can find them all compiled on the YouTube channel. Sheikh, if you have any final words, I can pass it to you.
Yes, I'd like also to add that some people, they are artists. They like to draw. They can draw anything, but not living being, not animals, not birds, not human beings. Okay. And if there is a picture, the head has to be cut. إنما الصورة الرأس, the Prophet ﷺ said, what it will be considered as a picture when the head is there. The moment the head is removed, it's not a picture anymore.
Jazakumullah.
Barakallah feek. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah bless you, bless your family, protect you, protect your family, and may Allah elevate your status in this world and in Jannat al-Na'im. Ameen. Until we meet tomorrow, inshallah, I leave you in Allah's company and protection. في حفظ الله ورعايته. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
آمين وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.